Welcome to StarCraft 2 Newbie Tips. Okay, today's tip is a quick one, won't be very long. What we're going to do is show you the benefits of multiple creep tumors at the same time spawning together. Okay, so I don't know if you're familiar with this. Because this is Newbie Tips, I'm going to cover some of the basics. These are queen. They inject larvae into your main base, which is useful for getting more than 3 larvae out at a time. So when you're trying to make multiple Zerg units, you want to have at least one queen on each base spewing larvae in there. For them to spew larvae, spawn creep tumor, or use a transfusion, they need to have energy. And in this case, it's indicated by the bottom bar here. It's out of a max of 200. So as they do any particular function, whether it be spread creep tumor, spawn larva, or do a transfusion, that drops down, of course, and then it builds up again over time. Transfusion is very handy if you are units are getting wounded, or your base is getting wounded. Any particular thing is getting wounded. They can pop this transfusion on them, and it re-heals them to a certain amount. So if a base is wounded pretty badly, you can transfuse them. It takes a while. That's why it's really beneficial to have at least more than one queen. But that's another video we'll cover at a different time. So what they do is they do these creep tumors. Okay, we'll show you how one looks in a second. You can spawn creep tumors in a couple of different varieties, and that's what we're going to cover today, is the benefits of spawning more than one creep tumor side by side. So what I'm doing is having these queens walk down. If they're not on creep, which is this stuff on the bottom here, which is Zerg's specific, I don't know, biological thing. If they're not on creep, they walk around very slowly. So there she goes. Spawned the first creep tumor and the second creep tumor. And then this one over here is going to spawn a single creep tumor. Now, you might be saying, well, if there's 2 there, or 3, of course it's going to spread more than 1. But the trick with this is, it's not that you're having them going to spread out more, it just spreads faster. So here's the 1 versus 2. There's 2 here. You can see it's already spreading a little bit faster. I'm going to drop another one down to show you the benefits of having 3 close together. It's not really an exploit, it's just, I think, part of the feature of the game. The only downside I can see for this is if your opponent is going to have some sort of scanning unit, they'll be able to take out 3 creeps at once. But, you know, at that point you're probably going to have other issues anyway. So here we go. This is just the one. There's the other one. Once they have reached their cooldown, you can spawn them to another spot. That's why they call them tumor. It's like a cancer. It spreads. Okay, so here is the 3. They're all going to go off at the same time. Pop, pop, pop. And watch the speed at which they go down through here. I have this on normal speed, but if I put it on faster, which is how we all play, you'll see it just goes lightning fast compared to the single one. See, there's a single one. See how fast it's kind of coming down here? And look at this, it's already gone to its maximum limit, so I have to spawn them again because it just goes poof right to the bottom. There it goes. Okay, this one. Spread this one down here. Okay. So as you can see, not only does it spread the creep faster when they're real bunched up like that, but it enables you to respawn them faster because you can go all the way to their max distance. If you're just doing 1, and now it's ready for this one to go ahead and do again in about 3 seconds. As far as I'm going to get is maybe right about here, which means these tumors are going to be like right on top of each other. Whereas over here, look at that, because it spawns so fast, I can go all the way to the max distance for it to be spread again. Creep has a couple of functions. First off, it enables all of your Zerg units that are ground units to be able to travel faster. One of the other ones that's kind of a big one is these guys are hidden. So another opponent that doesn't have a way to scan them will not see these tumors. Okay? If they don't see the tumors, they won't see the source of them, and the creep continues to spread. It spreads out to a certain distance. So this is kind of like your hidden eye in the sky, if you will. You'll be able to see any units advancing from any base with your creep spread. Downside is if you're playing another Zerg opponent, it also gives them the ability to run at you the same speed you can run at them. But for any other units, for Protoss or Terran, it's a very, very beneficial tool. It can also prevent them from building. So if this creep were to spread down here to this first natural expansion, and the creep is on here and he's Terran, he can't build his base on here at all. He's going to have to come out here with some kind of observer or scan to try to find out where the tumors are to take them out so that he can then expand. It's not a lot of benefit. If once he scans, he can see once he scans, he can see that the unit, or he can see the creep tumor and shoot it. But even after he shoots it, it takes maybe 30 seconds for all the creep to leave the area, which is 30 more seconds that you have on him for an expansion. Alright, so I think that pretty much covers the benefits of multiple creep tumors in a single location and covering some of the basics of creep itself. I hope this has been helpful, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section. Thanks a lot.